I've had a blog since 2005 called The Doctor Weighs In. And when I decided I needed to have a Twitter handle, I went on Twitter and The Doctor Weighs In was too long. So I said, well, what could I do here to shorten it? And that's how, that's kind of the silly story behind how it became Doc Weighs In.
I'm a healthy thinker. I've been tweeting for a long time. I have nearly 15,000 Twitter followers, which is amazing to me. And my company, my LLC, how I make money in my real life, because I do have to earn a living consulting. My company's been called Think Health for 15 years or so. I have the trademark on Think Health. And Think isn't just about think, but it's an acronym for technology, health, information, networks, and knowledge. So there actually is meaning behind the think. So I took Think Health and said, I'll be healthy thinker.
I actually have 4 degrees, accounting, industrial engineering, artificial intelligence, and medicine. I'm all but dissertation in computational linguistics. So in linguistics, you have something called a portmanteau. A portmanteau is a word that is made up of 2 different words smushed together. So where, flow, @ WARFLO. Where, software, and flow, workflow. I also want to say that where, WAR, is also a pun on where, WEAR. And so I'm very interested in wearable technology. And this is an example of wearable technology. This is Google Glass. I'm wearing it on my head. And I get emails, I answer them hands-free. Doctors are starting to use this. For example, a surgeon doesn't have to touch anything, doesn't have to break the sterile field, and yet still can have access to critical information about the patient. So where, flow.
All right, well, my name's Chad Johnson. So there was a football player named Chad Johnson. So Chad Johnson obviously wasn't available, and he has a nickname, Ocho Cinco. Well, actually, he changed his name to that. And I'm from Texas, so I said Ocho Tex. So simple as that.
At Mandi B Pro, and it's a distinguish between my personal account and then my professional account. So Twitter started for me as an experiment. I knew that I wanted to found my own consulting company. I knew that I wanted to break away from being a traditional corporate schmo. And so I decided that I needed to branch out. My network was very well established locally, and I wanted to become more engaged on a national level. And I thought that Twitter seemed like an interesting way to do it. So in July of 2012, I created 2 Twitter accounts, like my personal and then the Mandi B Pro. And I happened to follow Brian Ahere and began interacting daily with Brian Ahere and then his peers. But Brian kind of has influenced Brian is the reason that I am here. So Brian Ahere brought me to my first conference. I got a lot of insight from him, and he's a fantastic individual. And so he launched my Twitter career.